Warning: the Curious Native podcast contains mature topics and themes that are intended for an older youth and adult audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, welcome to the Curious Native Podcast. And in today's episode of the podcast, we'll be taking a look at and reviewing 2023's Disney's live action Little Mermaid film, led by Halle Bailey, and Ursula is played by Melissa McCarthy, which we will be talking about in this episode. And Queen Selena is played by Noma, an absolute goddess. Loved her. Loved loved this movie. Most certainly loved this movie. So, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and opinions on this film, go ahead and give this a listen. I don't even know if there's really much else, there's much anything I could say about this film, but yeah, I'm going to try. From the start, I'm just gonna say, this movie has beautiful shots. The shots of the waves in the beginning, they were absolutely beautiful. Like, just from the first few minutes of watching the movie, I could already tell that, it was well done. This movie is a well made movie. If I could, if there's anything you could say about it, it is well made. All the actors do an amazing job. I do have some notes about, you know, Ursula, but I'll get to her in a minute. There's no reason for me to just to jump on the bandwagon and completely and utterly destroy Melissa McCarthy. There's no reason for that because I don't think she did an okay job. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. The cinematographer for this movie, he did a great job. His name was Dion Beebe, I think. He's done cinematography for films like I Am a Woman from 2019, The Goddess of 1967 from 2000, and Miami Vice 2006, which I haven't watched any of these. I know about Miami Vice, obviously. The director is Rob Marshall. He did Into the Woods in 2011, which I fucking love Into the Woods. Like, holy freaking crap. That movie, I love the play too, but to see it in like film adaptation, that was a lot of fun. I was about 11 years old when that movie came out. No, I was younger than that. 2011, I would have been about like maybe 8 years old. I love the movie though. He did Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep, that's not fun. But that movie's a good movie. I'm not going to put the movie down because of who's in the movie, a certain somebody. And he did Mary Poppins Returns in 2018, which I haven't watched. I'm not really a fan of Mary Poppins. I didn't like the original one growing up. I was always much more of a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang type of guy. But that's just personally me. I am going to read a very basic plot summary on IMDb so you guys could at least understand, what the hell this movie is about. If you don't know, Ariel, a 16-year-old mermaid princess, is dissatisfied with her life under the sea, curious about the human world. With her best fish friend Flounder, Ariel collects human artifacts and goes to the surface of the ocean to visit Scuttle the seagull, who offers very inaccurate comical knowledge of the human culture. Ignoring the warnings of her father and Miss Estro, so I'm guessing like I don't know, like somebody who guides her. Like, what's the fuck? Like, what's his name in Aladdin? The fucking bad guy. I don't watch many fucking Disney films anymore. It's been a minute. Jafar, what isn't he like an advisor? An advisor. He's an advisor. She ignoring her father's warnings and Sebastian's warnings about the contact between mer people and humans is forbidden. Contacts Ursula and makes a deal with the old sea witch. Which in this one it is her aunt. Ursula is her aunt. I think that's also in the original Hans Christian Andersen version of the book as well. She makes a deal with her 3 days if she doesn't get a kiss from the prince she's in love with, Eric. Uh, I don't remember exactly in the movie. I know she gets her. What does she get? She gets the Triton from King Triton, but that's honestly, I don't remember exactly what the fuck else she wanted to get from that deal. But I do know that Ariel has to give up her voice, and in 3 days, if she doesn't kiss the prince, then she turns back into a mermaid, and Ursula gets her. Uh, She gets, she goes up there, which I want to say this first and foremost about this movie. I love Eric's mom. My mom also likes Eric's mom. We watched this movie together and she loved her. I guess my mom is a fan of the actress. Let me see. Let me look up the actual cast of this movie. I should have had that all up when I was doing this review, but this is like such a like a last minute thing I want to do because I watched the film, and it's not on DVD or it's not out yet, so like out of theaters yet, so you can't really I'm not like I could watch it again and again and take notes and notes. So cast. Let's see who plays Eric's mother. I can name the full cast right now. So Halle Berry is Ariel, Jonah King is Prince Eric, Melissa McCarthy is Ursula. We'll get to her. Jessica Alexander is Vanessa, which I love her so freaking much. When I get to Ursula, I'm going to get to Vanessa because uh, David Diggs is Sebastian. Jacob Trimblov is Flounder, which, oh my freaking god. Like, Jesus. King Giant is played by Javier Bardem. Aquafina is Scuttle. Aquafina is Scuttle. Aquafina. Fucking Aquafina. Emily Coates was Rosa. Here she is. Noma Doomswinsy. I'm trying my best, but unless I could hear it spoken, I'm not gonna be able to get a good thing. Let's see. Let's see if there's a pronunciation. No, but she plays Prince Eric's mom. She plays Queen Selena, which like she was like the best part, like one of the best parts of this movie, alongside Jessica Alexander as Vanessa, which oh my god, she did a great job. And it's saying the cast is saying that Chloe Grace Moretz is in this film, but like, where was she? Because I don't remember her. When the hell was she in this movie? What the actual heck? I do not know. I don't know. I don't know when was I don't. I do not know when this comes out. Maybe I'll do a more in depth review with somebody else. For now, this is just a mini review, so you know. Ursula makes a deal. Oh wait, I should have probably said. I'm gonna get back to the plot synopsis. So Ursula makes a deal with Ariel to transform her into a human for 3 days. She sings the poor unfortunate souls, which is my favorite part of the original one. Which is like, why wasn't it as iconic as Ariel must receive the true love kiss from Eric, otherwise she will transform back into a mermaid on the third day and belong to Ursula. As for payment for legs, Ariel has to give up her voice, which Ursula takes by magically removing the energy from Ariel's vocal cords and storing it in a Nautilus shell. I never knew I never really knew what kind of shell that was. So y'all know that. She goes to the human world. We get we get to see Eric's mom, the best absolute best part of this movie. Eric and Max find Eric and Max. That's the only see they don't have a plot synopsis out for the 2023 version yet, which somebody needs to do that. Somebody needs to do that quick and fast for us who needs to review this movie. Max is not in this movie as much as he was such a big part in the old one. Like let's get more scenes with the dog. I want to see more scenes with Ariel and Max together because that was always like I remember as a kid just be like, oh, the mermaids with the dog. Oh my god, I love mermaids. I love dogs. Oh my god, they're together. Oh my god. You didn't get that. But yeah, she's up there. We get the Kiss the Girl song, which I think Aquafina, as annoying as she is, she does alright in this film. I'm not gonna lie, especially in that part. I did get a little laugh when she was like trying to sing. I'm not gonna lie. It was, you know, it was cool. I liked it. Uh, Vanessa shows up. I don't remember exactly how or when she showed up. I was, I can remember every single little part. I need to rewatch this film. I only got to watch it once. This is what I'm talking about, though. Ursula throughout this whole film is like Melissa McCarthy just like stopped caring after a certain point. Like I remember watching Identity Theft when it came out and just thinking how fucking funny she was. She does a great job in Bridesmaid. It's so fucking funny when she's shitting in the sink and she's all, "Look away, look away." It's just like I just I thought it was so freaking funny. And it's like this, she doesn't put her soul into it. She didn't try hard, which is like that's why me and my grandma were saying, you know what, they should have just gave it to Lizzo. Lizzo would have she would have made her a thought, like she said, and she would have did everything. I wanted Lizzo as her so bad. I wanted to see Lizzo Ursula. And Melissa McCarthy did an okay job. I'm not gonna say you're in completely, because your co-star who played the other half of you. Let me see, Vanessa Alexander. No, Jessica Alexander, who plays Vanessa. She put everything, like she did. She was everything. She just did such a great job when she yelled, "Get away from her!" She's just shaking and shit. Like holy crap, she was so scary. She did such a freaking good job. Like God, she did such a great job. And now that we're on the conversation of Ursula and Melissa McCarthy and Vanessa. Let's talk about the little makeup situation because I'm just gonna say it, her makeup was god awful. I couldn't stop thinking about it throughout the film, and then I went online and I looked it up, and yeah, and of course people else there was gonna be push. This was independent, which mm, not a great site to be 100% honest, but the Little Mermaid makeup artist decries offensive and ridiculous backlash to Ursula. Several former RuPaul Drag Race contestants criticized Peter King's work, arguing against they should have because Ursula was inspired by a drag queen. At least her look, Let's see. I'm gonna look up exactly the drag queen. Look. Also, I'm sorry for like all the silence. The drag queen Divine, which she's an absolute queen. Like look at her, like queen, absolute queen. And I remember people were saying some nasty shit about her, trying to say like, I shouldn't even say people. It was just turfs and like male turfs who don't know how to keep their mouths shut. Now that I wish they would have hired a queer or drag queen or somebody who could at least actually know the techniques of the makeup they're doing. When it comes to drag makeup, you gotta know how to do it. And it's just like they really didn't put in the heart and soul that Divine would have put into her makeup. Like look at it, it's great, honestly. But Ursula, Melissa McCarthy's makeup, it just wasn't on par with what it needed to be. It didn't bring what needed to be brought, especially for Ursula. Like Ursula's eye, her makeup in the original was so freaking great, and it's like in this one, it's like what? And I've seen some great looks online, and it's like we could have had a great look, and even if they didn't hire a queer artist, there were so many non-queer artists who could do this look, and they just completely failed it, and that's unfortunate. Let's talk about Halle Bailey though, because she did an absolutely beautiful job. I cried multiple parts in this movie. I cried, I cried throughout. When I first watched it, I was crying with was my little sister staying there watching with me because my mama wasn't there, but I was watching with my little sister, and she just looked over me and there was tears in my eyes. She was laughing at me, but gosh, the part of your world was so beautiful. And then the reprisal of part of your world when she's sitting on the beach with Eric, that was great. And then she got up on the rock like the iconic scene in the original animated film. And then when she met the original voice actress for the Little Mermaid in the film, like, oh my god, that was crazy. I was just completely fangirling, like, on the inside because I don't want to be loud. But, yeah, she does such an amazing job in this film. And especially at the end when she, she hugs her dad, it's King Giant, it was everything. She did such an amazing job. And that's what I'm going to say about Melissa McCarthy. She gave, like, every little interview she did about, you know, uh, with Halle Bailey, she just gave nothing but props to Halle or Halle. Is that? Let me see. I need to make sure I am saying her name right because I'm not going to be saying the wrong name. Yeah, Halle Bailey. Which, can we talk about how somebody on Twitter, like, remember when they were like, oh, when people were getting so mad about the fact they casted a black woman to play the Little Mermaid? People were so fucking like this is like how racist. This shows how racist they are. They were saying Berry, like Halle Berry, like what the fuck, the like, Catwoman, the from the from that. Like, what are you even talking about? I just people are so freaking ignorant, and it's like for what? They didn't even see the film yet. Halle Bailey did such a freaking great job in this film, and Melissa McCarthy gave up so much props and love to her when she did. So, you know, to wrap this up, I'm just gonna say, go watch this film. It is absolutely amazing. You know, support your local theaters. Go if they're screening it. Go, you know, if they're showing it, go ahead and watch it. And you know, it's a great movie. Support the. Do not. There's a lot of versions out there. I seen like somebody recorded it. It's now gone off from YouTube. Thankfully, like it was a burnt version on YouTube. That's not cool, guys. Come on now. Go support this movie and the artists who, you know, worked in this film. Even if, you know, with the drama I mentioned with, you know, Melissa McCarthy and the makeup artist, it was a great movie. I'm gonna give Jonah King his props too because he played a great Prince Eric. He did great. David, you know, Diggs did great as Sebastian. I loved Flounder. He was adorable. Great job, Jacob. Queen, Selena, Noma, you did absolutely wonderful. I loved you, girl. You did amazing. Vanessa, you know, played by Jessica Alexander, absolutely great. Loved her. Aquafina, I could do without you, but you did okay. Go support this movie. It's great. And, you know, with all that being said, go ahead and follow me at, you know, TCN Pod. That's the official Twitter page. Capital TCNP, lowercase OD. And go ahead and follow the Twitter page at Huskasman ITN. Uh, Lowercase Huska, uppercase S, lowercase Mini, uppercase T, lowercase Hine. And with that being said, you know, this has been the Curious Native Podcast.